Kyle. Dark Ruffle, you got the floor.
Yeah. So Sentenced to be a Hero, a brand new anime, kind of came out of nowhere. It was just something that I think it was Moist Critical who like started talking about it about the first episode. First episode is an hour long, and yeah, I'm just hearing a lot of buzz about it. Everyone's saying like, "Oh, this anime of the year," but everyone throws that in the hat way too early, you know. So I was like, well, okay, we'll see. It's written by Rocket Shokai, illustrators Mephisto when it comes to the manga, but it was released by Studio Kai. It released on January 23rd, and it ended on March 26th with 12 episodes. It's kind of like a shonen, and I call it a reverse isekai, which we'll talk about that when we get a little bit more to spoilers.
Okay.
But I feel like it's pretty sick. Dark fantasy action adventure. But yeah, the reverse isekai kind of just subverts the isekai kind of genre. But yeah, I mean, so far I really enjoyed it. If on like just a surface level of what we're gonna talk right now before we get into the details, I honestly think it's something I'm looking forward to for the next seasons and beyond. I was very entertained. So,
Nice.
how about you guys? How was your introduction to the anime, and what's your initial thoughts?
I can go. So my initial thoughts
Yeah.
were, wow, this is a little different. This is pretty cool.
Mm.
I like it. There's a lot of action, but then the action started becoming a little bit repetitive for me. So it sort of lost me in that, but like the storytelling was really good from the beginning. And to Dark Ruffle's point, a reverse isekai it sounds like there's a little bit further digging deep into, which
Mm.
I like that the anime did. So it does keep you wanting more, and that point.
Mhm.
So overall, I did enjoy it. It was good. I will watch season 2 when it comes out, and yeah, I enjoyed it. Good.
I also enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. Just like Vinny, I also think some of the battles are a little repetitive, but I'm not. Other than the first episode, I'm not really following the battles all that much as like a main source of entertainment for me in that
Mhm.
one. I
Mhm.
really enjoy the whole concept of the literal title, "Sentenced to be a Hero." Like
Yeah.
it's a fucking punishment to have to go fucking fight all the monsters first, be the front lines of defense, and then they fucking keep bringing you back to life every time you die.
Mhm.
That's fucked. Like, what a
Yeah.
crazy fucking concept and then to be called, and then to use the word hero as a negative is, I
Right.
don't think, something that anyone's ever honestly done before. So I
Mhm.
Yeah.
think it brings a cool aspect that we've never seen. The animation is super interesting. I love
Oh yeah.
the drawing and the concepts and everything. Um, I do wish that they'd have a little bit more storytelling episodes, but maybe that's just how it starts. I haven't read the manga, so maybe that's just how like the first like 10 chapters starts, and then it's just maybe it's really dragged out story after that. Who knows? But
Mm.
Definitely.
I'm enjoying it so far. I'll give it another go once this next season comes out for sure.
Sweet, sweet. And so far pretty good takes or like takes. So far pretty good impressions
Yeah, yeah,
of the
yeah.
anime, and it is still on its first season. And Zanny, you did talk a little bit about the art style. It is, and I agree. It's like it has like a flatter look. It almost looks like a Mike Mignola, like Hellboy type of graphic novel. It kind of has that Western look, but dark, like blacks when it comes to like shadows and stuff like that. Um, Very fluid animation too. Like it seems like, as far as this animation style, sometimes when people are talking, they're very animated compared to like other animes where just mouth is moving. Really cool. Like character designs, monster designs, pretty unique. But yeah, any thoughts from you guys as far as art and animation?
Um, I'll go first this time then.
Yeah.
I think that for me, color is a big part of newer animes for me. I think
Mm.
that if you want to make it as a big star in the anime world right now, you need bright, flashy colors and lights. Not
Yeah.
ones that like people don't want like a whole color scape like the whole color palette all the time. Like having
Mm.
that darkness and then the bright flashy green, the fucking blue, the explosions, and then the way that the fucking what they call fairies look.
Yeah.
Like the fact that the enemy is so bright and colorful. I think that's a really cool concept that modern animes and really almost all animes do, that we've talked about before previously, about how they the bad guy is often an angel or a god, and the good
Mm-hmm.
guy is most often a demon or a devil. And like he's sentenced to be a hero, he's a bad guy, and the fucking they're all colorful, and
Yeah.
they're really the bad guys. So it's like we don't really get a lot of good people, and I think that that's what really helps the darkness of when it's their panels, like
Mm.
it's it's not it's like it's really like telling the truth about what they're living, whereas like
Mm.
the demon plague is all a lie. It's bright colors, it's flashy, it's cool looking, it's bad. Like it's an interesting concept that I think a lot of animes really do well at, and they've nailed it.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Fatty? Any thoughts?
Um, I echo Zanny, man. A lot of the colors are very bright for like the fairies and stuff like that. Lines are really rigid when they need to be, especially like when we were in the big city of the anime, and now we're like sort of in the slums, the ghettos. You got the darkness, and like they've drawn it and depict like every little like alleyway, and then all these different people that are in there. Like you got somebody on the
Mm.
floor, like drugged up. You got somebody sleeping. Somebody's hungry. Children. So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the colors that they add, like that darkness to it, you really start to feel like you're in the city. You're watching. You're a part of it. So definitely different from a lot of like animes I've watched versus like their
Yeah.
lines are very like sharp and a little bit more playful. But this is like really, I feel like more gritty.
Mm.
The action scenes drawn really well. I love it a lot. But um, going back to my point, I wish there was a little bit more like just difference in that.
Yeah.
I do love the fights. I love how they're drawn. I love like the swords. I love like how the dragons are even drawn, and like how the fairies look
Mm-hmm.
so different,
Mm-hmm.
and like they have different demon lords. So
Mm-hmm.
it sounds like there's a ton. So there's so many you can draw. So just having like that big bug as a demon lord, and then you go to something really small, and then something that can shapeshift. So the animation art style, I haven't seen anything like this before, besides like maybe like Black Lagoon or
Mm.
Mm.
Gangster. I really like
Okay.
those two, a little bit more grittier. So like when I think of like that art style, it brings me to those 100%.
Yeah. I definitely agree. And I feel like the more I hear you guys talk about it, the more I am kind of thinking more about the art style and how unique it does feel. Because like when you guys were talking about the fairies, right? They're like
Mhm.
infected by the demon lords, and they're just like usually animals,
Mhm.
in
Right.
the forest, and then they just
Yeah.
have this like weird growth. It's almost like
Hmm.
cancerous. So, and then now like over time you find out people could be infected and they look different. So it definitely has that crazy fantasy look where like the trolls the trolls that they call, they're just like
Hmm.
apes
Yeah.
Mhm.
turned into the demons, the
Right. Right.
fairies.
Right.
So definitely unique. When you were talking about the fighting, then I feel like the animation is very good, especially when they're fighting.
Hmm.
But I do agree. I think what makes it feel kind of stale sometimes is that a lot of the enemies are similar. It's just these hordes.
Yeah.
And then you have the demon lord, but the demon lord isn't always super interesting to fight because it's just this big thing, and then Terita just kind of uses her goddess powers, you know. But towards the end, I feel like the fights got more interesting, you know.
Did.
So yeah,
It did. The fight against what's that guy's name with the blue hair?
Oh yeah,
I forgot his name. That fight I thought was really good.
That was good. Yeah,
even though they were just.
I like how the story. I like how the storytelling kind of tried to make us think that he was the demon lord, and it just turns out he was working for the demon lord.
Right.
And then,
right.
And then to find out who the demon lord actually was also fucking blew my mind.
Yeah, that was a crazy twist.
Real quick.
Real crazy.
Jesse Hepburn, what's up? Welcome to the stream.
Hey, what's up?
Barton, I love talking about anime. Well, welcome. We're also talking about anime.
Yeah, if you have any... Yeah, so as we are saying our opinions, also tell us how you feel, and we'll talk to you too.
I just finished the new Hell's Paradise and Free Run Season 2. Very nice. I have not watched Hell's Paradise. Please, no spoilers. And we are actually going to get into... Yeah, we're going to get into Free Run Season 2 here after we finish talking about Sentenced to be a Hero.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting once we talk about that. But yeah, Sentenced to be a Hero. So far, animation, art style, like we're saying. I mean, you know what, though? As we're going along, I wanted to give,
some numbers?
Some rating. So before we do the numbers, the final review will be a number out of 10.
Right.
Okay.
For the animation and stuff like that, it'll be letters A through F. Kind of like you're grading a paper. So what would you give?
Interesting.
I guess we'll skip the initial impressions. We'll just go to animation and art style. What letter would you guys give it?
Animation art style. I'll give it a B plus. A B plus.
B plus. All right. Zanny?
I would probably give it a B, to be honest with you.
Okay.
It's not the best thing I've ever seen in the world, but it's really good. I'm not. It's not the reason that I'm watching.
Yeah.
It's really good at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. I guess I'll give it a B plus too. Like I want to give it an A, but I feel like hearing you guys talk about it does sway me a little because I guess it's like it is nice to look at. The design looks sick, but sometimes it does look a little too flat. But at the same time, I don't fault it for it because it's in a way it stands out on its own. But I will give it a B plus.
Nice.
So yeah. So now let's get into the characters in development. We have, of course, our main character Xylo. So he seems like a pretty cool character. What I say about these characters, for the most part, and there's Terita as well, the goddess, and there's an ensemble of characters. And for the most part, it's not like these characters are super unique, but I feel like they're like put into this world. It does make them more interesting, so it's like a back and forth between them and the world, and they do have backstories. They all have their own personalities. They're fun just seeing them each other interact, and I think that's what kind of makes up for they're not necessarily one-dimensional. It's just we haven't really dug deep into each of these characters. Like I feel like Xylo, the main character, you did see him being kind of standoffish. He didn't want to get close to Terita, and I thought throughout this more than one season we'll see him be cold to her, but towards the end it actually happened a lot sooner. So I do like that they didn't drag that on, that he's already actually attached to Terita, the goddess. So I do like the characters a lot. I think they're a lot of fun. They're part of what made this anime and the season really memorable for me. But yeah, any thoughts from you guys? Any favorite characters? Do you think they're good characters? Do you think they're kind of weak? So let me know. I guess we'll go with Zanny.
Give me 1 second. I gotta look up the character's name.
All right.
It's the crazy dude. He's my fucking favorite. Hold on. Sentenced to be a hero.
I feel like most of them are crazy.
Tatsuya.
Tatsuya. Yeah, he's my fucking favorite. That dude I don't know what the fuck is wrong with him. No one knows what the fuck is wrong with him.
There's a
Fucking
theory.
Xylo's fucking theory is that he's been brought back to life too many fucking times.
Mhm.
I think that he's actually fucking a demon blight lord that
Ooh.
hates the demon, like wants to kill all of them.
Okay.
And as we've already all found out from watching the season, the fucking government of Sentenced to Be a Hero is fucking infiltrated by the demon blight for sure.
Mhm.
So they both want the war, and he's probably they probably found him, maybe did some sort of magic to erase his memory, and then fucking made him one of their soldiers to keep the war going. But that's my theory. I think he's a demon blight lord or a demon blight of some sort that's able to shapeshift, but now that they have erased his memory, he doesn't remember that he can do that. So he's just fucking hella strong and crazy.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Real quick, just shout out chat real quick. Trobo, what's your favorite anime ever? Desert Fox with Bebop. What's yours? I guess we can answer that real quick and then we'll go back to it, just so we can keep engaging with our chatters. Zanny, do you have a favorite anime of all time? Number one on your list?
You know, there's a lot growing up that I really loved, but between Dragon Ball and Yu Yu Hakusho being my top two, I'd have to say Yu Yu Hakusho is my overall number one favorite. Just
oh man,
it felt more in a weird way, because they were human. It felt like a little bit more cooler that they have superpowers, whereas Dragon Ball had a lot of aliens and they were the strongest characters. So I mean, it's cool. It was great storytelling. One of my favorites of all time. Fucking Toriyama is the fucking master of anime, but Yu Yu Hakusho for sure, especially the opening song.
I love that song, man.
Yeah, so good.
Dark Ruffalo, what about you?
Damn, dude, this is one of the hardest questions to ask. I did make a top 10 anime, which at some point we should talk about.
Definitely.
It's hard because there's the animes of when I was young. Yu Yu Hakusho is one of them. Trigun, Esclafone. I feel like those are always going to be dear to me. Then the middle section is the, what do you call that? Kind of like what we're saying, Samurai Champloo, Vinland Saga, Mob Psycho, those. But when I made a top 10, I put an anime that just came out in 2025, and that's Orb. Orb on the Movements of the Earth. I feel like that's an anime that, I don't know, it just inspired me to read a book. So
really,
if an anime could make you do that, I feel like it's a great anime. So yeah,
and it's on Netflix. I'm going to watch.
Dude, one of the best stories you could ever watch, man. It felt like I watched. It felt like it was a book turned into an anime, and I feel like if HBO takes this anime, turn it into a live action Game of Thrones style, it's gonna be in everyone's favorite. It could work. It definitely could work. Yeah. But yeah. What about you, Fetty?
For me, real quick, Golden Time, Violet Evergarden was really good too.
Oh, okay.
More of the feel goody stuff. But One Piece for sure. Probably One Piece. I grew up on that. That's my jam. All right, let's return back to character development. I guess it was on me. We're talking about Sense to Be a Hero. I felt like the character development was really good. You get in, you meet Xylo. He's a hard-headed guy, and he's sort of just a lone wolf. He's doing his own thing. Then he starts opening up once he meets this new goddess. You learn about him going through a bit of a trauma with his other goddess and why he was sentenced to be a hero. So that development with him going through that was really interesting. Learning about Tatsuya and things like that. I have my own theory about him as well, which I will share later.
Oh, shit.
And then Patus, the female lead in this anime.
Kivia.
Her rise and fall was, I thought, was chef's kiss. Her having to go through just the trauma of killing your own family member. That's huge. That's crazy. For him to
Yeah.
do that, like having a character like that, really makes you like wonder, what's next for this person, what's gonna happen. And the scene that we're left off with, crazy. Crazy.
Yeah.
And then you learn about Rhino. Rhino, the other hero. It seems like he's an actual demon lord of
Mhm.
something, but he's a hero. He chose to be a hero, which is interesting. So Rhino's a little interesting, but everybody's motives and everybody's character um took a little bit to like learn. There's still like missing characters that you're wondering about. I did like the king. The king's a hilarious little
I love the king
gag
too. Yeah.
guy. He's great. But overall, I feel like there was a vast different amount of people that are
Mhm.
very interesting in the anime for sure. 100%. It was really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, yeah.
My favorite character, Tatsuya. But
Tatsuya.
That's it.
but again, I do have a theory about this boy.
Well, we're on
Wait.
characters in development. Let's
Oh.
hear it.
So the theory is Tatsuya is actually from the other world. So they did mention that he is like there was a time that they brought people from another world.
Another world,
And
yeah.
they summoned them, and these were their actual heroes. Tatsuya is one of those heroes that did die too many times and probably just lost it. There was a scene where he's sort of just like this and like touching something, like almost like a screen, sort of like Sword Art Online, where he is like pulling up a stats machine. So he's like able to do
Dude.
that. Like it looks like he's like going through his stats. So my theory with Tatsuya is that he is actually from another world because he's the only guy with a fucking Japanese name.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. He is.
Oh my
So-
god.
So that's why I think Tatsuya is actually from a different world. Again, they did do a little bit of lore story where they said we couldn't get people anymore, so we made our own people heroes, and now that's became sort
Oh
of
my
derogatory and this bad. So
I've completely missed that. I think
oh
I need
yeah,
to rewatch
so
it now.
that's my theory with Tatsuya. He's actually from another world.
Dude.
And,
I like it.
I am again. He's my favorite character because he's just going ham on everybody.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember that scene where he's like poking around at just the air.
Yeah.
I did not think twice about what he was doing. He was crazy, so I thought he was being crazy. I was like,
He's holding up his stats, man. He's checking.
That's pretty
what
sick.
he needs. He's checking his stats.
He's solo leveling up.
He's like putting it all in strength.
And then you can move it to speed real quick.
Yeah,
and put
yep.
back-
That's so sick.
Oh, dude, that's
Mhm.
great. I hope that's the case because that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Dude. I feel like after hearing you guys talk about them made me love the characters even more. Like I never thought of that. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But I think that's what the strength of this anime is. Like the characters are just so well done. Like again, they don't get too deep into their lore right away. They just give you little glimpses. And most of their personalities come from their interactions with each other.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of characters right off the bat from the first season.
Mhm.
Like the hero unit themselves, you think it's only when it started, I thought it's just gonna be the three,
Yeah.
Turns out there's more and there's more and it's more. Like, and you only get to spend a little bit of time with these characters, like the King and Tatsuya when you first meet them, but immediately you're attached to them,
Mhm.
and like it's like they just work off well with each other. And I feel like that's why I enjoy the show. So the characters are definitely top notch for me.
Yeah.
I have
And-
one more thing I want to add real quick.
All
I
right.
really like that they only gave us 3 actual sentencings. Like we only got only got to watch 3 of the characters for
Yeah.
what they were really sentenced to be heroes.
Yeah.
Because they're actually not bad people. None of them
Yeah.
were bad
Right.
people. So I'm super curious what happened to King because like that's one of the they said what they thought what he was sentenced for, but like
Mhm.
everyone's reasoning is so like far off from the actual thing that happened.
Did they say what he was sentenced for?
They said I think they said he went mad and like burned down his village or something.
Mm,
It was something like he
Along
went
lines of
because
that,
they
yeah.
call him the Mad King, right? They don't just
Yeah.
call him the king. So like I think they said like they said he collected an army to try to overthrow the government.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So I have a theory about him too. Like, I'm thinking maybe since they have to keep being brought to life, like what if he's hella old and he actually was the king at one point?
Right.
Yeah.
Lot
But
of theories, for sure.
and it seems like he really cares about his land, you know, when he found out that it fell apart during the last episode, he was like shooken up. But I think another aspect that makes our heroes or the hero unit really interesting, it's kind of like you're saying they're criminals. It's almost like Battlefield Bad Company. Like they're all just prisoners, you know, and it's almost like a sentence, kind of like you were saying. Like it's interesting how hero here has a negative connotation, but like some of these heroes, even though they end up being likable, they're pretty scary. Like what's his name, the sniper guy? Like he's a fucking psycho.
Yeah,
you know, and then like Rhino.
Dude. Yeah, Rhino.
Yeah, Rhino.
Yeah.
Rhino. Yeah, we don't know much about him, but it sounds like he killed people for fun, for sure.
Yeah, he's all about mass casualties. Like,
yeah.
But it's also interesting because when he was talking to the Spriggan, the girl that, you know,
Spriggan.
he says that I like killing my own kind. I take pleasure in it, but he's a demon. So does he like killing demons? Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, I think he likes killing demons because
Yeah.
I feel like he used to be human that went demon. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. But now he's a hero, so he can't die. So now he's killing his own kind or something like that. I really don't know the story with him, but
yeah,
he's an interesting character for sure.
He is. And he just kind of showed up the last 2-3 episodes, and immediately you're like, okay, something's more to him.
Yeah.
And I guess to cap it off, and then I'll see if you guys have other things to add. But my favorite, I would say, is Kivia because of her arc. And kind of like where you guys are saying, I like that you were able to see some of the sentencing, you know, but most of the sentencing is kind of like past tense. You're just seeing like flashbacks. But I like how she kind of served as a character who in the beginning was super about the Holy Knights. She didn't like the main character at all. And then she warmed up to him. And then her faith in being a holy knight kind of fell apart, and then she got sentenced to be a hero. To be a hero in the end. So I do like how they kept giving you, these are the established characters who are already heroes. Oh, here's why they became a hero. But in real time, we got to see someone go down that path. So I really like her story arc.
Heck yeah, agreed.
Agree, 100%.
Any other thoughts on character development?
No, I think we summed it.
I guess we'll just give it a rating. Any grades?
I'll give it an A-.
A minus. A minus.
I think I'd have to do the same. A- as well.
A-.
A minus. I'll give it an A. I feel like
give it an A.
Because immediately I like these characters, and I feel like we're just scratching the surface, you know?
We are, yeah.
Yeah. But now I feel like for this next section, story and plot,
we talked about a little bit of it.
We talked about a little bit of it. I guess we'll just kind of talk about like the world is interesting, very unique. Again, we covered a lot of these things. I guess what we'll just kind of go over, I guess it's the most interesting part of the story arc, which was when I was saying it's like a reverse isekai.
Yeah.
So that was like a really interesting premise, how like, I mean, I've watched a lot of isekais. I know you guys have too. And it's always about someone coming over from another world. They're overpowered. But in this world, they're like, yeah, we used to do that. But they just didn't, it was too much work. You know, they didn't really get our culture. So, and now we're just using dead bodies, you know, to bringing them back. So, yeah, any thoughts on the story, plot, any curveballs?
Honestly, I think the biggest curveball for me was finding out that what's her name's uncle was one of the bad guys, you know, with how proud she is and like how like in her name and family and stuff, and like that was a big curveball for me. I always felt like something was wrong with the government,
Mhm.
But when it came to her, I felt like a lot of purity was
Mhm.
like her aura, and like to find out that she doesn't come from so pure of roots is a nice little curveball for the first season.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree 100%. Like Kivia definitely her story, her pacing, having to go through that, like going from pure to just like pure, just fuck, what the hell is happening?
Mhm.
Like, can I trust anybody? And then like you thinking, like, oh, there's these holy knights, they're good people, but then you find out, oh, they're actually bad people.
Mhm.
So, I thought that was really cool having her go through that. I think pushing her story a little bit more next season will be really cool to see. Xylo's part, however, like you see him like growing and like learning to like be in sync with Tortilla or whatever her name is.
Tarita,
Tortilla.
Tarita.
Yeah, Tortilla.
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 yeah.
Little tortilla girl. That's cool and all. He just needs to grow some balls and just fucking do it, bro.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with him.
Facts.
And stop throwing shit. Like, learn to do something else. Learn to do
Stop
something
throwing.
else, brother. Like, shoot some shit, do something cooler. But
Yeah, there's
for
guns.
yeah, there's guns, man. But overall, I thought the story with her specifically super cool. I give her that an A.
Yeah.
But the main characters portion of it, it's only surface level right now, and we're only scratching the surface, and we're only really understanding what the whole world's happening. But that sub story with her, super cool. I'm interested.
Yeah.
His main story is sort of just lacking a little bit for me, so I wasn't happy about that.
Mhm.
Personally.
Yeah. No, I see what you mean. I kind of agree. I think the Xylo Tarita thing is almost like a cheat code sometimes.
Mm.
Is this like father daughter relationship? It's Ellie and Joel. It's
Yeah.
So I mean, I would say
Already heard
Tarita.
1,000 times.
Yeah, but I would say Tarita's pretty adorable though. It's kind of cool how like these goddesses they just want like praise and stuff like that. So it kind of makes sense. Um, but I do agree. I feel like what makes the story and the plot is like everything that's going into it in combination,
Mhm.
kind of like in tandem. I feel like, and then like kind of like what we're saying, it seems like the person really who's making this the most interesting and stealing the show are like side characters. Like everyone's favorite so far is Tatsuya and Kivya and the king.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I
All
mean,
side characters are the best part so far.
Right. Yeah. So
yeah.
far, they're interesting. I want to know more
They're
about
actually
them.
interesting.
And then it did kind of take me a while to really get used to the kind of like you're saying the throwing.
Mhm.
It was weird to me. It's like you're just throwing exploding knives. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, where's he keeping all of these knives?
I don't know.
Yeah.
When Terita wasn't there, he had a bunch of them still.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Sometimes I feel like this. I mean, this was based off of a light novel, I guess.
Mm.
Okay.
Sometimes I feel like there's this guy who downloaded like a fantasy game, and then the main character is like a rogue throwing knives. I feel like that's how he got the inspiration. So
Yeah.
It's an interesting thought. I like it.
Yeah.
I get
but
it.
yeah,
I see it.
let's
I'm
give this
giving
a rating.
B. I'm giving it a B right now.
Yeah.
Just for right now. I think it'll get more interesting.
Yeah.
But the first season just got me feeling okay. I'll watch the next season. It's not like I'm fiending for the second season. So I
Yeah.
give it a B.
I'm gonna give it a B minus. I think the pacing is all over the place. I think the plot is all over the place.
Yep.
But I think that the
Mm.
story so far is interesting. The side stories are interesting, and the side characters are the most interesting part of the story. So that's why it gets a B minus.
Nice.
All right. I'll give it a B plus because I feel like it's. I mean, I agree with what you guys are saying. I think I just enjoyed this anime a little bit more than you guys. And the ending, I felt like was just a good way to end a season, and me being more interested in the second season. That what they're gonna do.
Right.
But yeah, we're still scratching the surface right now. So
Yep.
But yeah, any favorites from this season? Any standouts, fight scenes, or any character
My
interactions?
favorite interaction was when Kivia killed her uncle.
Yeah.
That was just the twist of just having her go through like something like dark like that. I
Yeah,
like
dude.
that turning point. That was definitely like
Yeah.
the biggest turning point of the anime for me.
And that her like friend's face being gone.
Fuck.
It's like holy shit.
Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that's the A+ moment of the season for sure.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Like that, there were a lot of twists and turns that were all A- to B rating spots, but that's the A+ top 10 moment of the season for sure.
Okay. For me, one that keeps replaying in my head is how they beat that girl with the weird metal hand that
Oh yeah,
unwinds.
Oh yeah.
It's just like they threw up in the air and then like got shot by a dragon.
Dead. She's
I
supposed to be
like
like S-rank adventurer or some shit. She
Yeah.
just
right.
immediately.
there had
And
that's like, we really want to show you how strong these heroes are. So
Yeah.
So here you go.
we're telling you this person's hella strong. Just off bat, we're telling you they're hella strong.
Yep.
Wipe them out in a second.
Yeah, I feel like the way they killed her, it's like, when you, I mean, I had it like Mia, a little sister, when we'd like kind of do that game, you kind of like raise her up, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to like explain or like throw up in the air. I feel like that's how she died. She's almost looked like a little kid being thrown up in the air. It was just very, very disrespectful and funny. It, like,
Yeah, for sure.
I was laughing really hard. So, but yeah. Well, let's give it a final score. How many fans are you gonna give this out of 10?
Out of 10?
Yeah, are we doing out of 10 or?
Oh, the final review?
Yeah, final review.
Ah, shit. I'm gonna give it like hot take, like 6.5 out of 10.
6.5. All right.
6.5. I'm giving
Even
it
though
a 7, 8.
even though my ratings are like really high up.
Right.
Overall, it's 6.5 for me.
I'm giving it a 7.8.
7.8.
I feel like having only the one main highlight is what, for me anyways, is what dropped it down. And if I were to rate all the highlights, it would be a C minus. So
Yeah.
it kind of drops it down there, like you said.
All right. I would give it 8.3. I think I do rate this. Well,
Nice.
I'll give it a 8.5 actually, because I'm also thinking about the other animes we'll be reviewing and needs to kind of scale with that. Definitely really enjoyed it. I think the thing is like the story's simple enough, but with a lot of like interesting mysteries that it got me hooked. And then after hearing your guys's theories, it made it even more interesting to me, because now I'm thinking like Tetsuya, I like his character, but now if that theory is true, he's gonna be one of my favorite characters and twists of all time. And since I've watched so many isekais, to see it from this like
the other angle,
that's pretty interesting to me. So I'd give it an 8.5. 8.5 for sure.
I love it.
All right, so that's anime number uno.
Very nice. And man, Sensory Hero, great anime. Great anime, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a decent one for sure. For new age anime, it's pretty decent.
Pretty decent. I agree.